Hello, dear viewer, and welcome to the Athenian Nexus Bestiary. I am your game master, Alzoru, and today I'll be giving you a small piece of the Bestiary for Athenian Nexus by showing you some of the most powerful monsters in the entire game. If you are ready, we can begin. Let us first begin with the personal favorite of mine, the Mesopotamian dragon. This thing exists from prehistory into the industrial era, or in the game's terms, from the Coal Age into the Quartz Age. Its base stats are 68 HP, 48 MP, 61 SP or stamina points for the unintroduced. It has 200 strength, 200 endurance, 150 perception, 90 dexterity, 250 intelligence, 150 will, 250 charisma, and 75 luck. Its rarity is uncommon to very rare depending on the time period. It is not a tameable monster. They give a rather large 3,450 base experience, and drop 5,000 Werona and one random enchanted item from one defeated. However, they cannot drop godly enchanted items, serpent-like and ruthless. They were the first dragons to appear on Earth. They are directly descended from Tiamat, and revel in ruling the lives of humans and other races on Earth. The Mesopotamian dragon is a massive serpent with a goat's horns, the eyes and beak of an eagle, tiny arms, and legs ending in sharp, flesh-rending claws. Rather than wings, this dragon has a pair of large sails on its back. It is a hoarder of vast treasures, and is full of lies and hatred. The Mesopotamian dragon masks its lies in half-truths, and occasionally supplements them with actual truths. It speaks with a condescending tone, and can be very convincing due to its clever use of truths, half-truths, and lies. In the past, they were uncommon, though not a really rare sight around Mesopotamia, claiming large territories around the Tigris and Euphrates rivers. They would enslave or destroy whole settlements of men, and then corrupt them to their dark desires, but eventually someone managed to kill one, and men began to rise up in brotherhood with elves, dwarves, and even non-humanoids to kill the dragons. Over time, they began to die and flee, spreading themselves thinner and thinner. They would give rise to many other varieties of dragons around the world, but eventually went extinct themselves as the last known one was killed in South America of all places during the 1700s. The Mesopotamian dragon always has the following spells: Poison, Deadly Poison, Ice 1, Dark 1, Feeble, and one final spell under an MP cost of the DM's choice. They also have the Bite, Tail Slap, Heckle, Heckle 2, and Acid Spit special attacks, which makes them quite a force to be reckoned with. Here is the next entry on our list of powerful monsters in the game, the Mamariba. It can be found anywhere, at any time. Its base stats are as such: 80 HP, 68 MP, 79 in SP or stamina, 275 strength, 230 endurance, 190 perception, 80 dexterity, 55 intelligence, 200 will, 55 charisma, 205 luck. Its rarity is incredibly rare to the point that you'll only likely see one, if any, during an entire game. They are not a tameable monster, and have a fighting power around level 50. Once defeated, they drop 875 experience, a Mamariba shell for each party member, and a Mamariba chunk for each party member. The Mamariba is an enormous creature whose adults typically measure from 30 to 60 meters in length, eating all in sight. They are luckily very rare, but they are widely feared as city-destroying monsters. They are blue-gray in color and have many segments to their long bodies, 3/4 of which have a pair of legs attached to them. The last quarter are its neck and head and its tail. The tail segments are elongated and end in a stinger with 2 different venoms, one for mating and one for hunting, not that it usually needs to use that stinger. It also has 2 large sails on its back that serve an as yet unknown purpose. It has remarkably thick skin. It has a pair of snail-like eyes that it can move independently of each other to look around for food, and it also has a large, jawless mouth full of large serrated teeth. The Mamariba is a massive and horrifying creature to behold, and while it isn't that intelligent compared to most boss monsters, it's only a little less smart than your average player character, and thus should not be underestimated. And while it has no actual spells that it can cast, it can certainly bite you, sting you, and trample you with its many centipede-like legs. Next on our list is the African dragon. The African dragon can be found from the Bronze/Copper Age to the Space/Golden Age. Its base stats are 80 HP, 56 MP, 71 SP, 170 Strength, 230 Endurance, 120 Perception, 60 Dexterity, 250 Intelligence, 170 Will, 270 Charisma, and 60 Luck. It is a rare monster that cannot be tamed. The base experience that it drops is 2,500, and when defeated it drops 1 godly enchanted item. With its thick and robust body, stubby but robust 4 legs, short but thick tail, elephant-like tusks, metallic black scale color, and a pair of spinal sails, the African dragon is rather funny looking, but not to be taken lightly. It is immensely clever and devious. It lures humans to their doom by appearing polite and cordial, and inviting them to its home to dine with it. It is a generous host, or so it seems. Once it has accommodated its guests' every whim and seen to their delight, it sends them to bed and has its servants kill the hapless mortals in their sleep to be made into mindless zombie thralls. It is a master of necromancy, and often has well-dressed zombie butlers, vampiric chambermaids, or even white bodyguards at its beck and call. Even Liches will occasionally fall under the thrall of an African dragon, and just like their master, these undead behave very well-mannered and cordial. They are made up to look less dead, selling the deception all the more, while the African dragon's main goal is to amass as many slaves as possible. It also spends its time looking for holy artifacts that it jealously guards. It keeps them and often attempts to pervert their holy nature, usually unsuccessfully. When an African dragon dies, the undead under its thrall die as well. In rare circumstances, an African dragon will genuinely need an adventurer's help with something and offer them wealth, slaves, or some sort of favor in return for services rendered. And, surprisingly, they can be trusted with this. An African dragon never breaks a promise, even if it means death. The African dragon knows the following spells: Dark 1, Dark 2, Charm, Weak Mind, and another spell under 10 NP cost of the DM's choice. It also has the following special attacks: Bite, Heckle, Tackle, Stunning Blow, and Suplex. The next one on the list, and subsequently right under the previous, is the Outback Dragon. The Outback Dragon is a prehistory to industrial era a monster with 56 HP, 52 NP, 57 SP, 200 Strength, 170 Endurance, 70 Perception, 170 Dexterity, 90 Intelligence, 160 Willpower, 90 Charisma, and 130 Luck. It is a rare monster and cannot be tamed. It has a base experience of 515 and drops 1000 Waruna upon death. The Outback Dragon is a rough and rugged creature with red scales, green reptilian eyes, a long tongue like a chameleon, and the general body shape of a kangaroo. It has a spiked tail and is much larger than any kangaroo, and happens to have a crocodilian maw. It is a very vain creature that desires to be adored and told of its beauty, even though most think it isn't, which makes it angry. It is an incarnation of Tiamat's pride, or so it is said, but unlike many dragons, it does have good traits as well. Most notably, it will protect anyone who befriends it with its life. Some stories say that Outback dragons need human females to breed and will do her darndest to seduce any human or even elf female it can find, and then if it succeeds, it remains a faithful and adoring husband. It's said that some of them possess magic that lets them turn men into women. Outback dragons always have Quake, Stone 1, Sharpen, and has a 1d6 chance to carry Transform. This dragon can also use Bites, Tail Slaps that deal an extra 5 damage, Energized Fist, and the Faint and Strike abilities. They also have the unique power to summon sandstorms that blind enemies for 5 turns. Up next is a monster that we call the Grand Lich. They can be found only in dungeons across all time periods. While normal liches are rare, there is only ever one Grand Lich at a time. They are huge, monstrous, and very, very insane. Grand Liches are horrifying abominations that will often bring ruin to civilizations and infect huge areas with nasty curses. A Grand Lich is said to occur when an ascended being becomes a lich, or when a lich manages to ascend. But they must also destroy the current Grand Lich in order to gain the title formally. When one of these arises, only the bravest, strongest, most well-equipped adventurers have a chance at stopping them. They are a Rarity Z monster, with 76 HP, 108 MP, 95 SP, 220 Strength, 220 Endurance, 80 Dexterity, 250 Perception, 300 Intelligence and Will, 60 Charisma, and 60 Luck. When defeated, they drop 10,000 Waruna, and have a base experience drop of 28,500. Any Grand Lich will know Dark 1, Dark 2, Feeble, and at least 2 other random spells chosen by the Game Master. And the last creature I will talk about today is the strongest creature in the entire game. In fact, it's not really a creature so much as it is a goddess. Mylinata, or Mylinata, she can be found anywhere and at any time period. She is a Rarity Z monster, meaning that there is only one of her in existence, or at a time. Her stats are 164 HP, 164 MP, 167 stamina, and all of her other attributes are at 440 strength, endurance, perception, dexterity, intelligence, willpower, charisma, and luck. She'll drop whatever the heck the GM wants her to drop, and her base experience drop is 53 billion. Mylinata, Mylinta, Mylistis, the Grim Lady, the mother of all demons, the bane of the wicked, the ultimate destructor, whatever you call her, she is the Wyvalic goddess of destruction and punisher of the most wicked souls in the universe. She can appear to be anything, from a beautiful woman wearing a black dress, to a horrible old hag in rags, to a skyscraper-sized eldritch horror. When she arrives, you can never be certain what she wants, though the more monstrous her form is, the more likely it is that she's there to do her main job, destroying civilizations or even planets. Mylinata is a very interesting being. While she loves her job, she can be bribed, is willing to make deals, can be impressed, and even seduced. If you manage to defeat her in battle in any of her forms, she'll congratulate you and then leave your planet or civilization, letting it stick around for another several million years. Sometimes she comes to a mortal world to punish an evildoer personally, or to birth a demigod to do it for her. She is very kinky in bed and a very passionate lover. When it comes to punishing the wicked, she is extremely sadistic and delights in causing their souls every form of torture that can be imagined and several that can't even be comprehended. Gain her favor and you can be certain that she will treat you well. Mylinata is extremely powerful and capable of all special attacks in the game. She has an aura of destruction that deals 1d10 damage to the entire party each turn, and has all 3 tiers of the fire, ice, dark, and shark spells. Shock spells, not shark, blah. Along with Quake, Stone 1, Cutting Wind 1 and 2, Razor Leaves, Nature's Wrath, Bubble Attack, and Wave. Hopefully this helps you see why exactly she is, without a doubt, the most powerful creature in the entire bestiary, and why she's more than just a creature at that. She is, after all, the goddess of destruction. And that, dear viewers, are the strongest monsters in an Athenian Nexus bestiary at this point in time. Not counting the monarchs of all the demons and angels, because if we went through all of those, we'd be here for quite a while. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you all have an excellent day.